All right. Good morning, Miss Damiano. How are you
Hi,
today?
I'm good.
So the purpose of our conversation today is just to discuss been in your classroom to do a lot of informals, and I'm looking at your lesson plans, and I was just kind of confused because in the beginning of the year you started off doing really well with your centers and matching your centers with the instruction as well as using your data to make sure your centers match what the students are capable of doing. But I noticed lately they're the same centers and that within your plans it doesn't match up because what you're teaching does not represent your math
Math
stations.
bins, yeah.
So just wanted to talk to you about like how can we make sure that your instruction is aligned with the stations for students to do, and then how can we use data to drive those stations so that students are able to work with specific skills that they're learning already and then previous skills to match up. So I'm just kind of taking it, so if you could kind of explain to me like what's been going on, what's your struggles, because I want to really support you with making sure that your instruction is always aligned to the activities
To
that
the
the
bins.
students
I
are
think
doing.
I get like overwhelmed with changing them so much because there's 10 bins and we're like math. I just feel like stuff gets introduced so fast that I can't keep up with switching them into my bins. So I think I struggle with like not necessarily the ideas, but how to make the bins engaging for them at the
Okay.
same time as you're teaching the skill. Because like right now we're doing like measuring length, we're doing longer, shorter, taller, shorter, and weight. So it's like I understand that skill, but how many different ways can I put it into a bin that's engaging enough for them to stay involved and they could do on their own? So I
Okay.
think that's what I kind of struggle with the most when I make my bins. And I've definitely been slacking with changing them.
Okay, so then just thinking ahead, because I know you were really good at, you had to start up the year, doing really well with making sure that the bins are changed out based on the unit and based on student needs. So what do you think you can do to like really strengthen those stations to make sure that your stations match up to what you're instructing? I get that it could be a struggle, as a classroom teacher here, I understand that it could become overwhelming, but we also have to make sure that whatever we're providing quality instruction for our boys and girls, that everything's matching by using data and also is matching to whatever you're teaching at that time. So what do you think you could do, or what could we do, or what could I do with you to support you and to be able to make sure that you are providing specific activities based on the unit and based on student need?
I mean, we just did our MOI for math, so maybe we could sit down and look at those skills together because I know that there's skills that they're going to get tested on at the end of the year as well. So maybe I could have a few bins that target the MOI for math and then just really look at the upcoming units and maybe like not like pre-plan but kind of like have some ideas in mind before the unit even starts. So if I know, okay, these students are struggling, I already have a bin in mind of what I could do. Instead of, because I feel like right now I wait, like I'm teaching it and then as I'm assessing it, by that time it seems like the next day already came, so I don't have the bin ready. So maybe like not like pre-plan, not like pre-making it, but kind of like coming up with some ideas for each skill.
Okay.
Maybe even if we just write them down and like come up with some type of like fun interactive thing that they could do. And then this way, if they do struggle with it, I already have an idea in mind. I'm not thinking of the idea as I'm thinking of other things.
Right, okay.
I feel like that would help maybe.
Okay.
And then definitely to look at the MOY, and then I know I have my math checklist that I could start probably using a little bit more to group my kids, because that's so quick just to look down and be like, okay, highlight kids maybe that need one skill and start from there.
So I think I'm just thinking about it. I think that might be a great idea just to look at your MOI benchmark and just see exactly what skills that you can capture in the bins so that students are always applying those skills to, ongoing all the time. And then also with looking at your checklist to see exactly which students need what, because we know that there are going to be some students that need more skills and some students might need just a little bit skills, or just those students that are doing really well we need to really enrich them with and have other skills. Okay, so I think with your next step, so the next time we meet, if you could just come up, like look at your data and just come up with specific different skills that you're going to address within your bins and how you're going to put it into your instructions so that boys and girls are always, you know, being able to have an opportunity to work with those particular skills. And then what we'll do is we'll come back together and look at it together.
Okay.
And then we'll come up with a plan, and then maybe we both can come up with some resources together. I'll
Yeah, that
support
would
you
be
with that.
very
so
helpful.
that we can make sure that your instruction aligns with the activities, the small group activities that they do independently, so that they are always constantly seeing it and able to apply it. So are you good with that?
Sounds good.
All right, so I look forward to you. Maybe maybe the next 2 weeks we'll
Okay.
get together. We'll come up with a date that we can
Okay,
meet
and I'll
again.
start looking at my checklist because I think I'm almost done one and we're just starting our next one. So.
Okay. All right, perfect. Thank
Okay.
you.